Hey guys, I know this is really weird, but I'm actually in LA right now. I met with Gary Vaynerchuk and his team yesterday, and we did a whole big thing. And I'm going back there this evening, but actually happen to be in LA right now. I know this is really strange. I'm calling from, I'm actually broadcasting from my room. Got an Airbnb, and I'm in the LA area right now. So I've got to check out of here at by 11 o'clock, and I've got to be back at Vayner. Uh, hey, Splinter Fingers. I've got to be back at Vayner X at like 6:30 this evening, and then driving home from there. Hey, Keith, how you doing, buddy? Hi, Amy. Um, anyway, so I thought if there's anybody, any of you guys that you have some free time today and you're in the LA area, we could get together and hang out, talk shop, do whatever. I'm kind of open. It's just one of those last minute things. I should have planned for this a little bit better earlier. Hey Larry, hey you guys. Um, wow, looks like some people coming in. Hey Joanne, thank you. Um, anyway, guys, this is just a quick thing. Vicky is not with me. I'm on my own. That's the reason this video probably looks horrible, but it is what it is. Um, Tenzar, got a question for you. Yeah, I'm here. What do you got, man? Or lady? I'm not sure. Tenzar, male or female, but yeah, let me know. I'm here. Let's answer some questions. Um, Anyhow, guys, if you actually mail, got it. Thanks, Tanzar. If I'm saying that right, hope so. Um, if you're in the LA area and you've got some time today, I've got about 5, 6 hours to kill. I can always just go to the beach and hang out because I'm actually in like the Culver City, Venice area, which is really a cool area. Um, but I got to be out of here by 11, and then I got some time to kill. So if there's anybody out there that you know wants to hang and can grill me for questions or whatever, I'm absolutely open. Um, Good morning, Johnny. Looks like there's a few people out there. Thanks for joining me, guys. Just to tell you why I'm in town, I actually met with Gary Vaynerchuk and his 4Ds team yesterday. Spent about 11 hours with them. Uh, yeah, I am actually thinking about going to Venice Beach. That's if I don't have something else set up, I probably will go down to the beach and check it out. But had an amazing time with Nick Dio and Matt and James and the whole gang over at 4Ds Vayner X. They have an office here in Culver City, and these guys are just brilliant. If you guys ever get a chance to meet up with not just Gary, but his people. Um, Man, he's got some great people around him. Gave me tons of ideas. I met a lot of other business owners that were there for the same reason. There was I think 9 of us all together, um, and the team just went over just tons of information, specifically how we can grow our own businesses. So it was pretty amazing, a lot of fun, and mind blowing at the same time. Anyhow, so if you see this and you're around, shoot me an email, or send me a DM, direct message through Instagram, or or my email. I'll be checking my email all day long, answering questions and whatnot. So anyway, if you guys have any questions right now, I've got a little bit of time before I have to clean up my disaster of a mess I made here in the room. Uh, and I got to go find some coffee somewhere. But um, anyway, if you've got some questions, bring them on. Tanzar, if you want to ask a question here, that's fine. If you want to email me, that's great too. I will definitely answer you back. If if you guys want to meet up today, I'm open for it. So I may do an Instagram stories thing too, which I'm not real proficient at, but I know there's a lot of people that follow me over on Instagram as well. So anyway, guys, what do you got? Any questions? Tanzar, you got a question? Uh, Good seeing you, Keith. Hope things are going well for you, buddy. I do see your stuff on Instagram once in a while. Um, anyway, guys, uh, I guess I'll get out of here because I'm kind of running out of stuff to say. But again, if you guys if you don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, which probably most of you do, um, go check him out and his. Have I ever used plastic wood filler? Actually, I have, Bill. Um, hey, Larry. I have used the. I think it's. Is it made by? It's not Minwax, but it's something like that. It's the little yellow and red can, and it's called. I think it's called plastic wood. I've used that and I really like it. I've used it on a couple videos I think before. Now there's so many different options out there now with the CA glues and the resins and different stuff like that. Um, hey, hey, Bill. Oh, gosh, what did I do? Hey, John from northern Minnesota. Wish I was there fishing, man. Um, oh, gosh. I am so bad at this. Vicky, where you at? Um, thanks, Bill. I will. I definitely will. Joanne, have you ever done an inlay picture? Uh, an inlay picture, meaning what? You carve it and then you inlay wood in there. I'm not sure. I did something with milliput not that long ago where I did kind of an image of um, uh, Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday. And so, but I'm not sure exactly what you mean by inlay. Um, if you mean inlay wood inside of the groove that you've carved, no, I've never really done that much um, at all, actually. Where'd the comments go? Okay. All right, Tanzar. I contacted Vicky about buying bits from you with the price and CDN exchange plus shipping. Duty was way too much. Sorry, I bought off. I bought this bit off Amazon. It's good for starting out. Amana tool, 45780. I know that tool. Carving and engraving 2 flute solid carbide router bit. Yep, I know that tool well, Tanzar. Um, the 45780 is the ones that we used to buy. They have a pretty good flat on the bottom of them, and they carve just fine the way they are. They just don't have a V groove at the bottom. I don't know a lot of Amana tools as far as their part numbers, but that one I specifically know because that's the one that we used as kind of a starting point to make our profile bit. So that one, I've carved that. I've carved with that bit like many times. Again, if you're carving big outset letters or inset letters, that tool will work just the way it is with that flat on the bottom, and it's a pretty good flat. If I'm not mistaken, it must be probably a 16th flat on the bottom of that 45780. You can absolutely use it just the way it is. if you don't have small detail to get into. Now, what we used to do is we used to physically grind a point on the end of those with our diamond wheel, and then it turns into basically a profile bit, a rudimentary profile bit, not like our good profile bits now, but that's what we used to do. So I'm not sure if that's if that's the information you're looking for. Um, it definitely is a good starting out tool. You just can't do tiny detail with it because that flat on the bottom. Um, but you could definitely carve inset letters, even some maybe 1 inch inset letters, maybe and or bigger, and you can definitely carve bigger outset letters as well. So that is a really good tool. You probably got the best that you could get outside of our profile bit for what that will do. Um, Fishing is good. Oh, I'm not surprised in Minnesota. Yeah, I wish I was there. Um, Put the picture inside the inlay. Can you spray it with polyurethane over the top? So when you mean an inlay, like a cavity, you're like carving a big flat to put a picture in, and then polyurethane over the top. Yeah, absolutely, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that, Joanne, if that's what you're asking. Um, hey, Matt, how are you, buddy? Um, Yeah, you can absolutely do that, Joanne. That shouldn't be a problem at all. Just make sure it's stuck down good. And here's what my general rule of thumb. If you're going to do something like that, practice with it first. Take some picture that you've just taken a copy of and practice with it first before you do it on your customer's sign. Just to make sure that you don't have any issues. You'll learn a lot from practicing. So that's what I would suggest, Joanne. Definitely. Matt Roach, what's your advice for approaching a shop that would like to sell your signs? How would you approach a shop owner? This could be a very complex question, I know. Um, Honestly, just be yourself, Matt. Take in a sample of your work. Have your work in your hand when you contact them. Um, and just tell them you're looking for awareness now. That let me see, you would like to sell your signs, so you want to set them up as a dealer. That's what your goal is to set them up as a dealer. Gosh, my thumb is just um, let me get back to your question. How would you approach a shop owner? It's really a nervous situation if you're not used to that kind of thing. Even these days, I'm not really good at sales. That's one of my weaknesses. And even now, I'm doing it all this time. It still kind of gets me nervous when I do that kind of thing. But just be yourself. Just and understand whether they say yes or no. You still, if you're proud of the work that you've got that you're showing them, it's still positive either way. Generally speaking, they're not going to be jerks. Um, you might run into one of those once in a while, but generally speaking, they're not going to be jerks. They're going to probably compliment you on your work and wish you luck. Just don't take it personal. That's the big thing. Don't take it personal. It's just if that's not something that they want to do, you might ask their advice. See what they say. Ask their advice. Maybe they know of somebody that would like to work with you. So that's the way I would do it, Matt. Just be yourself, man. Don't try and be anything that you're not. It just doesn't work. So at least that's my opinion. Uh, uh, John, hi Eric. Warming the U now for a change. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, the UK. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, good. I'm glad it's warming up over there for you, buddy. Have I ever used cedar decking? See, here's the thing, John, is I don't have access to cedar decking. All the decking out here is redwood. But I know that there are a lot of people that do have access to cedar decking that aren't on the west coast, and I've heard it works really well. So each board is individual. So you want to pick through your boards and make sure that you don't have a lot of defects and that kind of thing. But um, uh, the main thing is that you just try it, get a piece of it and try it. Uh, you want it to be dry. Try and get it as dry as you can. If it's not dry when you get it, you want to try and dry it out. Give it some time to get that moisture out of it. Matt Bay was wondering how the wine partnership with Gary went. Uh, I went really well, actually. I mentioned it to Gary when we had some time together, and Gary said he's gonna help me out with it. He's going to actually give me, how did he put it? He said he'll bring some awareness to it. Yeah, to my wine accessory products, which was huge. So I don't know what form that will take. I don't know if he's gonna maybe give me a shout out or somehow endorse kind of what I'm doing. I'm not sure exactly what that's gonna look like yet. I may get a better idea tonight because I'm going back to Vaynerchuk tonight. That's the reason I'm hanging out another day. I'm going back there tonight, and so even though Gary won't be there, but his one of his guys, several of his guys will be there. So I may have a better idea tonight what that's going to look like. But yeah, that was huge for me that Gary was kind of willing to help me out with bringing some awareness to my new wine products side of the business. So thanks for asking, Matt. I appreciate that. Tanzar, awesome, will be good to start. I bought the Rigid 1420. Watching all your videos. Thanks, Tanzar. I appreciate that, man. Thanks so much, buddy. I love it. Thank you. And I'm here all the time, Tanzar. If you need anything, any questions, anything I can answer for you, please email me. Don't necessarily write me through here or Facebook. Oh, there goes my comments again. Please email me directly, eric@makeawoodsign.com. I will always answer. So, uh, yes, I do need coffee, but I'm just excited that there's somebody watching that I get to interact with, and so I could definitely use some coffee. So if there's anybody around that can bring me a cup of coffee, no, I'm gonna probably go down to find a place to buy some coffee. Uh, Thanks, Matt. I appreciate that. I am very excited about it, and I'm really excited about some of the strategies and ideas that I got from these guys yesterday. These guys are just brilliant. I can't even explain some of the synergy that was in that room. That was not only from the Gary's team, but was from the other business owners. Made some great contacts with some other business owners, and I plan on making a bunch more tonight. So yeah, I'm very, very, very excited about it. So Matt Roach, is there a sales model that that you have found to work well? A percentage, or tell them what you will sell it to them for? So what we used to do, Matt, is we used to say it's a 40% product. So let's say whatever the sign sells for, the suggested. So you'll have a suggested retail price. Let's say it suggests your suggested retail price is $39.95. So they get a 40% discount on that. So they get it for I don't know, 40% off of that. So they'll pay, what is that? 4 to 16, they'll actually pay $24 for it, and they'll make $16 on it, basically. That seemed to be, we haven't done that for a while, so that seemed to be a norm that we did back in those days. Did you provide them with a sales? Yes, definitely. I gave them an order card. If you need a copy of that, Matt, email me, and I can. I've got a picture of it. I've done some videos on it too, where I've showed it on some videos. but I can email you a copy of what it looks like. Oh, my nose is itching. Um, Bill Ross, Matt Checkman, and Dave Signs, they have an order form on their website. Yeah, we do. And on the YouTube channel, if you go to the channel search and you type in order card or order form, you'll see some videos, some coffee and questions videos that I did where I actually showed it. So that will give you an idea too. Um, Matt Bay, the fallen officer badge that I emailed you about, you mentioned doing it on separate wood. I was thinking on plexiglass. Uh, that would look pretty cool. The only thing about carving, that would look really good, Matt. Gosh, I'm sorry, guys. My nose is itching like crazy. I'm not used to this moist stuff. I'm used to the Arizona dry. Anyhow, so the fallen officer badge. I have actually carved plexiglass. It you have to be careful in the fact that you want to probably slow your cutter down if you are variable speed, and then really pay attention to your router bit itself. If you're carving plexiglass, the router bit can get caked up, like especially if you're going faster, the plexiglass sometimes will actually adhere to the router bit, so you got to shut the router off and then clear it off. But yeah, I've done that. But again, my rule of thumb, Matt, if you're going to do that, test it out first, play with it, kind of get comfortable with it. The other thing that you'll have to be careful of is if you're going to do it in plexiglass, if you're going to keep it clear, you got to worry about scratching the surface, because once those scratches get in there, it's really tough to get out. So you may want to carve it with the paper on it if it comes with paper. That's probably what I would suggest. Carve it with the paper on it, and then once you're done, then the very last thing, pull that paper off at the end. Otherwise, you take a big risk of scratching that surface. So let's see. Hammer Down Woodworking. Hello from Tennessee. Hey, how you doing down there in Tennessee? Hope things are going well. Let me see if there's any other questions in here. You guys can keep the questions coming if you want. I got some time. Yeah, I'm hoping that was helpful, Matt. Let me know again. You've got my you got my email, eric@makeawoodsign.com. I'm happy to help however I can. Um, you're welcome, Matt. Matt Bay. There's Matt Roach and Matt Bay. You're absolutely welcome, my friend. Anything I can do to help. And I love your new line, the Betsy Ross flag line. I was looking at it the other day. I love that stuff, man. That's freaking awesome. Great stuff. Let's see. Well, guys, if that's it, I do. You're welcome, buddy. Hey, Arnold from Tennessee. Gosh, I'm super humbled that you guys would just tune in. Smash the like button. Oh, thanks, James. I always forget to say that. I appreciate that. Thanks, James. I appreciate it. Uh, uh, sure, crap. Thanks, Tanzar. I love helping. It's one of those weird things. As much as I love making signs, as much as I love making sawdust, I just, I think I was born to be a teacher, I guess, because and I get a lot of that from my dad. I grew up watching my dad helping people over and over and over, with nothing, no expectations, just the joy of helping, and it really has passed on to me. I love doing it. So, how long can a profile bit last? There's a lot of factors that come into play on that. I think Shake or Shack. So, what kind of wood you're using, how deep you're going. Generally speaking, if you're carving softwoods like cedars, pines, that kind of thing, a profile bit will again, how much carving you're doing on a particular sign. You may have a sign that's got 4 or 5 letters on it, and then the next sign might have 25 letters on it. So there's a lot of factors that come into play. Gosh, where'd that go? Oh, that there it is. So generally speaking, on a rule of thumb, I'm thinking somewhere around 15 to 20 signs, but that may go higher if you're not carving as much. If you're just carving, some simple inset letters and not a lot of carving on it, it may be less than that. If you're carving harder boards with a lot of grain or knots or like hardwood, like poplar or something like that. So but generally speaking, I say somewhere around 15 to 20, 25 signs, somewhere in there, before it really starts dragging on you to the point. It can still be used. There's guys that carve 100 signs, but I like all my bits to stay as sharp as possible. So it can still be used, no doubt about that. But it won't be as comfortable for you. So let's see. Greetings from Vermont. Hey, Alan, how are you, man? Let's see. I'm happy I could help, Tanzar. That's fantastic. Greetings from Tanzania. Tanzania? Tanzania. Wow. I don't even know where that is. Thanks, man. That's terrific. Um, that's great, Anne. That is great over in Australia. I'm excited. I get a special charge when I hear about ladies that are getting into sign carving. I absolutely am enthralled because it used to be, it used to be a guy thing. It used to be an old boys deal, and I love the fact that ladies are getting into woodworking, and especially if they're carving signs. So, and you let me know if there's any questions, anything I can answer for you. I'm here. Please let me know. How did Gary Vee become accessible to you? Um, So it's kind of a long story, Matt, but basically, um I was lucky enough that at one point he did a few years ago. He did something that was called like the Super 8, where he actually broadcast for 8 hours, and if you bought 8 of his books, then you got your name kind of put into a bin, kind of thing. I was lucky enough that he pulled my name. If you go back and watch the Super 8, you go back to Ask Gary or Gary Vaynerchuk's YouTube channel and you watch Super 8, that it's been, gosh, 3 or 4 years ago. He actually pulled my name out and I got 10 autographed books, which every once in a while I'll give one of those away because I still have some. Then shortly after that, like really close after that, there was Ask Gary V 189. And I actually got my video question with me and Dad. I got my video question on his show. He answered my question, and that is the answer that he gave was just kind of life changing from the standpoint that I did what he said to do, which is, you guys know that I make signs for other influencers. Well, that was before influencer was even a name. There was not even a term influencer at that time. So I started making signs. But anyway, so I got on his show, got my question on his show. Well, later on, he was in Phoenix. This was only about 6 months ago. Also, if you go back and watch his Ask Gary V shows that he does from his office, I actually made a sign for him. It was up on the shelf for a long time. It's not there now. Now it's all empathy wine on there. But he actually has one of my signs. So he kind of knew of me because of those short interactions. But then even with all that in the past, um, he was in Phoenix. It was about 5 6 months ago. I think it was February. I think it was February. He was in Phoenix doing like a sales, not a sales presentation, but kind of a motivational thing with Tony Robbins and some other people. There was an opportunity to get a ticket to a upgraded ticket, and it was kind of pricey, but it was an investment to get into a strategy session with Gary. It was 2 hours with me and I think 9 or 10 other people. We had 2 hours in a room with him, and so I bought that ticket. You know, to be honest, that ticket was pricey. It was a $3,000 ticket, but I felt like he had given me so much with that advice, and it had worked out so well that my business had grown to the point where I took a chance. That first chance that I took of buying $180 worth of books was a big risk for me because we were struggling at that time. And that was a pretty good price tag. But my business had grown so much because of me taking advantage of the advice that he had given me. So then what I did was I thought, you know, $3,000 is kind of about like what 180 bucks was back then. I'm going to take a risk. If I get a chance to be in a room with him for 2 hours, I'm going to do it. So I did. He did remember me, which was like way cool. I was like dumbfounded that he remembered who I was. But I think a lot of it had to do with that video that I did with my dad, and everybody knows my dad is the star. It has nothing to do with me. My dad's the star. Everybody wants to see dad. So, and Vicky. Anyway, so, you know, long story short, that was that. I told him at the end of that, when I got a chance to talk to him one-on-one as everything was closing up in Phoenix, you know, again, 5 6 months ago, I told him that I really wanted to go to 4Ds. 4Ds is a really expensive ticket, but it's all relative. So then he said at that point, he said, I think 4Ds would be really powerful for you. 4Ds at that time was a $10,000 ticket. That is what I did yesterday. But in between there, like a few months, like I don't know, 2 months ago, that's how this whole empathy wine thing came about. I did a phone call where I became an empathy wine club member, which costs about $750 a year for 3 cases of wine. And he said if you signed up for that, it was a live Instagram broadcast. If you set up for that, I know I'm going into a lot of minutia here, but you asked, so this is how it happened for me. So I actually became an empathy wine member, and he called me. He literally picked up the phone, called me, and it was live on Instagram. I think I posted a little clip of it on Instagram, but it was crazy. And he remembered me again. He remembered me. Crazy. And that's where I asked him if I could, if I was going to come to 4Ds. At one point, he asked about bartering. If you bought $10,000 worth of wine, you'd get a free ticket to 4Ds. So we talked about that on that live broadcast. We talked about it, and so that's actually how it came out. The next week, I think the price for 4Ds is now up to 12,000. But I'll tell you what, guys, if you ever have that kind of money that you can invest in your business, and you get a chance to hang out with these guys and learn the insights and the only word I can really put to it is brilliance of being able to hang with these guys and have specific advice for how you can grow your business in all different aspects of the business. It was well worth it. But that's how it happened with me, Matt. It wasn't. It was kind of a fate thing to begin with, but I kind of leveraged that. When I sent that video, I actually didn't send it to Gary Vee. I sent it to India, who was his assistant at the time. If you go back and watch Gary Vee 189, you'll see India is right there. It's at the end of the show. I was the last question, the end of the show. And you'll see me and Dad literally with our bench out in the middle of the desert. It was kind of a. And if you listen real careful, you can hear the coyotes howling in the background. That wasn't planned. It was just kind of a plus. But anyway, that's how it happened for me, Matt. Literally, I got access to Gary Vee because I took advantage, and I invested in what I thought was a good investment. So it wasn't it didn't come free. It cost money, and I was just fortunate that I was in a position that I thought, and I could talk Vicky and Dad into it. That was the big thing. But I'm so blessed that they trust my intuition. So that's kind of how it happened. That's how it happened for me. Anyway, Matt, if you want more insights of that, obviously you have just get a hold of me. I'm happy to go into that more. Okay, Tanzar, I was practicing with a V groove type bit, not too deep, and I noticed it kept pulling a bit when going through the grain. Is that I was doing inset shapes? That is typical. The toughest thing, Tanzar, and I've said this many times on the videos, you'll hear this over and over on the videos. The hardest thing when carving wood is when you're carving softwoods is the difference between soft and hard, soft and hard. It's harder on the grain, it's softer in between the grain. So it's the differentiation, if that's a word, going from soft to hard, soft to hard. I would rather have a board that doesn't have those hard grains and it's consistent. I would almost rather carve a hard board like poplar. Poplar is a hard board, but there's not a soft, hard, soft, hard. It's consistently hard all the way through. I would rather have that. That is easier to hold a line than something that's soft, hard, soft, hard. That at least that's my take on it. Thank you, Thor. I'm excited for you. Please let me know how I can help. I'm always happy to help however I can. Joanne, that's cool. That is very cool. Joanne, you're an inspiration to all of us. You really are doing some great stuff. Thank you for chiming in. I appreciate that. Hey, Billy McGee, how are you, my friend? Great to hear from you. Hey, Sam, how you doing, buddy? Let's see. You got your bits. Terrific, Alan. Try them out. Let me know what you think. If I can answer any questions, obviously I'm here. So, cool. Gosh, I've been on for 38 minutes. It's crazy. I love this, guys. I can't tell you how much I love this. I think I need to do this more. If you guys, I want some suggestions for you guys, from you guys. Let me know what you want. If you want to see me do some specific kind of projects, if you want to see me do some specific kind of demos, if you want me to do more of these kinds of things, I live off of your feedback. So please let me know. Gosh, man, I look terrible. Anyway, Clark, hey buddy, how are you? Thanks so much, buddy. I appreciate it. I love what I do. I'm blessed. That is for sure. No problem, Matt. Whatever I can do to help, man, just let me know. I can give you maybe some contacts of people that you might reach out to. I can absolutely do that. So shoot me an email. I do have some guys that I met last night that I am in contact with, and I can kind of turn them on to you. I'd be happy to do that. Not a problem. Yeah, no earthquakes today so far, Dan. I'm just here kind of doing some business stuff with Gary Vee and his gang. I kind of went into it a little bit, but that's why I'm here, Dan. Good to hear from you, buddy. When are you coming back to Vegas? Uh, Thanks, Billy. I appreciate it, man. Uh, I loved hanging with you in Seattle for a little while. Hope we get to do it again. Probably the way Vicky liked Alaska, chances are we're going back next year. She's absolutely enthralled with Alaska and the whole fishing thing up there. Uh, Thank you so much, G2H King. Thank you. I appreciate that. Uh, I will definitely keep doing what I'm doing. You guys give me the fuel to do that. You know, I got with all that I normally am in bed by 9:30, but I was up till midnight last night going over stuff, and was up again at 3 o'clock, 3:30 this morning, back at it. I just can't stop. So anyway, you like this, Tanzar? That's good to know. I appreciate that. I absolutely love this interaction. I love to answer questions, help however I can. So that's good to know. I appreciate that. I love that feedback, man. Thank you. Um, I will keep doing what I can do, no doubt. Uh, I would love to come over there and hang out. Australia has always been on one of my always been on my bucket list, and Canada as well. I would love to. Matt, I am actually pretty close to Vegas. Not right at the moment, but I live only about an hour and a half drive from Las Vegas. So if you guys are ever out in Las Vegas, in fact, Dan Yotis, I've met with him several times when he comes to Vegas for business. Vicky and I have gone up and had dinner with him a couple times. So if you guys are ever out in Las Vegas, and plane tickets to Las Vegas a lot of times are pretty cheap. If you guys are ever out there, hit me up, man. If I possibly can, I'll drive up and we can hang out. Uh, Will you please make this video available for later? I'm at work and missing a lot of it. This actually, Sean, this should post to YouTube. Once it's done, once we're done here, like our Friday nights, it should post to YouTube. It should be there. At least I'm hoping that it is. Let's see, Tanzar. I would love to. I was just talking to my son the other day about actually going to Alaska, driving up, but I think I need a month to do that because the fishing up there, I don't think I could pass up many places. So I'm sure I'd need a month. So I don't know when that is going to happen. Anyway, guys, I know you guys are all probably busy at work doing stuff, so I don't want to keep you on here. If you have to get out, I absolutely understand that. I got to get moving. I got to clean up this room before I check out of here. So I can't tell you what it means just to have some of you guys in here interacting with me, asking questions. It's what I live for. It's what I love. It's what I'm passionate about. Anyway, love you guys. Love you all. Email me if you have any questions, and I'm happy to help however I can. Hope you guys have an awesome day. I'm driving home late tonight. We will be on, if everything goes right, we'll be doing a live YouTube live tomorrow night. Thank you, Ann. Thanks, Bob. Hope you guys have a great day. Again, I'm available if you're in the LA area. Love you all. See you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.